Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to our monthly prime time. Jazakallah khair for joining on time. We are back with another monthly topic to engage and empower our youth. When we talk about modesty, what does it make you think? Is it something only associated with girls? Why does Islam have so much emphasis on how we dress or talk? How does it strengthen our iman? Come and explore all this and much, much more on monthly primetime Mikna today. Before we start, we have a couple of announcements while we wait for others to join. Mikna offers a variety of programs throughout the year. Prime Times are monthly online webinars organized by Mikna. Previous Primetime session recordings can be found on our YouTube channel. Mikna also offers YMJ courses twice a year, spring and fall. We also have a companion magazine for kids which is written by kids all across the country. There are 2 magazine issues a year. If you are good at writing, feel free to send your poems, essays, or recipes to us. The magazine also offers all sorts of fun competitions where you can participate and win prizes. Mikna is hosting a Dawa mask competition right now. Design a Dawa mask in an original, creative manner with the purpose of spreading Islam. Deadline to submit is February 21st. For more details about the competition and how you can submit your entries, please visit our social media pages. Mikna also offers an annual Journey Through the Quran course during Ramadan. Recordings have been uploaded on MCNA YMj YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is a great resource to watch our program recordings. Last but not least, please like and check out our Facebook and Instagram pages weekly for Arabic Word of the Week and updates. Alright, let's start today's program with the tilawat of Quran, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين Ameen. Okay. Today our speaker is Sister Faria Shagil. She has 5 kids, alhamdulillah, living in Chicago for the past 24 years. Did bachelor's in arts from Pakistan and currently studying early childhood education at local college. Served as national president of ICNA Sisters for 2 terms. Right now part of Gain Peace Team and vice president of ICNA Sisters Chicago chapter. She loves to bake and her favorite dessert is gulab jamun. She also loves playing basketball. She has served as Mikna and YMJ teacher in her local halaqah. So, without further ado, Sister Faria, the mic is yours.
Okay, Jazakallah al khair. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me well, Aisha?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to all my dear friends, my very dear young friends. I'm so glad that you all are here today at MCNA Primetime Forum. I'm pretty sure that you await for this forum, all the time because there are so many good topics to learn about and, to play Kahoot in the end. So stay tuned to play Kahoot in the end today as well. But make sure that you are listening to the presentation very attentively and very carefully because all of the Kahoot questions will be from this presentation. Okay. Okay, so Sister Aisha already introduced me. My name is Fariha, and we'll be talking about this topic of Haya or modesty. Okay, and then there will be, some questions which I'll be asking to you guys, and I would, love to see some of your responses. Aisha, if you can help me maybe when, our friends will write down any response or any answers, if you can just read aloud a couple of them so that because I'm sharing a presentation, so I might not be able to see them on the screen. But I would request my dear friends here, all the attendees, to feel free to post your answers in the question, box. You can post any comment or any answer which I'll be asking there. Okay. Before even we start to talk about our topic of Haya, let's look at this picture. I know you all will be saying, "Ew, oh my God, what this disgusting thing is?" But why do you think the flies are coming and sitting on the lollipop, which is on the right? I'm pretty sure nobody is going to eat that one, which the image is shown on the right side. Why do you think the flies are coming to it? Can you let me know, Aisha, if there is any response?
I'm currently not seeing any response.
Okay, 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 that's fine.
Fariha, Assalamu alaikum. You can click on questions bar and you can see it. I think Aisha won't be able to see it.
Okay, okay, I'll do that. I just want to make sure that it's not coming on the screen. I mean, because I can see this question panel in front of me, I just want to make sure it's not apparent to everybody else because it's going to block the PowerPoint. Is it fine this way? Is it blocking the screen or is it fine?
It's fine. I can't see it.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, I can see the responses because it's a sticky, it's not covered, because one is covered and the other is not. Perfectly fine answers. And that's exactly I was looking to see, the responses from you all, that one is covered and one is not. So even though we can see the fly, swirling on top of the other one, but since it's covered, it's wrapped, it's not able to sit on it. The same way, look at this beautiful picture. This next picture is going to be, you're going to like it. This is a beautiful pearl, okay? And do you know, and I'm pretty sure you all know that, how and where this pearl is found. The very inner part of the shell. And it's all covered, it's all protected. And that is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect those things which are precious, which are very precious to him. The beautiful things in nature are covered in some kind of wrapping, in some kind of covering. This pearl, this very expensive pearl, is not open for everybody or anybody to even look at. People who are expert in finding it, they, dig for seashells, and then they know how to open it up carefully, and they know how to take this pearl out of many layers within inside the seashell. So that is exactly the concept of Haya, okay? And we are going to talk a little bit more about it. But first, look at these latest trends. So we always like to talk about fashion. How can we be up to date? How can I be, liked by my friends? How can I catch up for all the new trends? I do not want to look outdated, right? Or old fashioned. When it comes to my clothing, when it comes to shopping, I would like to buy, all the trendy clothes, some brand name, shoes. And it's not only for the girls, it's for boys as well. Some, especially when it comes to shoes, I know I have three boys. I know they love to buy shoes, which are the most famous, and the most branded shoes, which all my friends would they would appreciate and they would like when they look at it. So we all want to go after fashion and to be called the most updated person. But at the same time, when we try to follow fashion, or new trends, we hear a lot of comments from our suggestions, I would say, from our parents, from my mom, sometimes from your dad, sometimes from your siblings, from your elder siblings, that you are going outside like this, you have to wear loose clothing. And sometimes I'm being told that, wear long shirts. For girls, you might hear, your mom suggesting to you, oh, take a hijab, take a big hijab, cover yourself properly when you go outside. Or maybe when you are speaking to one of your friends, you might hear this advice from your, elder brother that, oh, do not use foul language when you're speaking, do not make immodest jokes. Or forward that movie scene. This scene is not appropriate, or the song which you're listening to, it doesn't sound appropriate at all. I mean, all of these constant reminders. And then you think, why are there so many rules? Why cannot I live a life, where I am not being told to do this and that, or I'm not always being advised to do this and not to do that. So, my dear friends, today's topic is for you to listen to, and feel free to share your thoughts, because when you will be convinced from your heart, then you won't mind anyone else reminding you of these beautiful guidelines, which we all, as a Muslim, should be living our lives with. Okay, so that's why we are talking on this topic of haya and modesty today, so that we are convinced, from the bottom of our heart, and we should be aware of why do we even have to live a life which is in the reflection of all these guidelines, not coming from my mom, not coming from my dad, not coming from my elder siblings, but coming from some other being, some other higher and higher power and higher authority. So before even moving onwards, I would like to ask you one more time, write it down in the question box. Write down just one word. What comes to your mind when you hear the word haya or modesty? Okay, haya is actually an Arabic word, and modesty, we try to translate this word in English, which comes to modesty. What is the first thing which comes to your mind when you hear this word of haya? I am trying to look at your answers. Or what do you think? It just, it tells you. If somebody will ask you, okay, just in one word, tell me what it actually means, what would you say? Okay, hijab, humble, hidden beauty, to be appropriate, beautiful answers. Covered, nice manners, burqa, how you should act, stay in your limits, shyness. Oh my God, amazing answers. Covering yourself, being humble. Mashallah, mashallah. It seems that our attendees tonight are so well educated about this topic and concept of haya. So it's going to be very easy for me to talk about it. So let's look at it. Haya is actually the Arabic word, which we try to explain in the words of modesty. It is, you can think of this example as of a GPS system. Okay, so when you are driving, when you're going on a long trip with your family, your dad or your mom is driving the car, and then it tells us, the GPS system tells us that what is the wrong route we might not be taking, which one is the right highway. When we take a wrong exit, it ultimately it gives a beep beep sound so that we are aware of it. And the system is so awesome. It guides us how to make our travel successfully in a way that we reach our destination, right? So compare this concept of haya with this GPS system. This haya is actually that inner compass which is inside my heart, inside your heart, which is guiding us to do right stuff and right things. Okay, you can also understand it with this picture of the lifeline, or the this image which tells us that there is a person who is alive. And actually, it's so interesting. And hint, hint, some of these questions which I'm talking, some of these points which I'm talking about are going to be in the Kahoot game as well. So listen to it carefully. The root word, meaning the root word from which all the other words sprout or comes out in Arabic language. So the root word for haya and hayat is the same. Haya is modesty and hayat is life. Okay, and isn't that interesting? Isn't that powerful that the root word is the same for both these important concepts? Haya, meaning modesty, is life, and life is modesty. That's how important it is. And it is our faith. Haya is our faith. And it's not just that I'm just writing it down on the PowerPoint just to, tell you that, oh, I'm just, saying this sentence out of which is coming to my mind. This is something which is told by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Haya and faith goes hand in hand. Modesty and faith goes hand in hand. When one is lifted, the other leaves as well. When one is lifted, then other leaves as well. And we all know how much important our faith is to us. We all know that this faith is going to take us to the paradise, take us to Allah's beautiful Jannah. If my faith is gone, it means that everything is gone. And that's such a beautiful and profound hadith or saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he said that both are together. And if one is gone, then the other is gone as well. So, what is modesty and what it is not? Okay, now listen to it carefully. First, we're going to talk about what modesty is not. Sometimes, when I was reading some of your comments and answers when I asked you about haya or modesty, usually, yeah, we think of burqa, we think of hijab, we think of a headscarf, we think of covering ourselves up, and we think it's only for girls, it's for women, it's not for boys. So there are so many misconceptions which we are going to talk about tonight, inshallah. It's not just a body attire, okay? Sometimes we think that I'm wearing a loose garment, my shirt is very loose, it's covering my whole body, my hijab is fine, and the boys will think that, oh, I'm not wearing short kind of shorts, it's a full pant, and it's all fine. It is outer wrapping and outer covering is a must, but keep that in mind that it's not a guarantee for inner consciousness, for inner haya. Okay? It's not done. Haya is not acquired to please our parents or our friends. Okay, so if you are sitting in MCNA halaqa in your city, and if I'm all dressed properly, if I'm talking all properly, if I'm behaving all fine, if I'm doing it for to please my parents or to my friends, it is good. It is good. It could be your secondary objective, but it's not that. If I'm doing, if I'm taking care of my haya just because my mom would be happy, just because my dad would be happy, then it might not be the right concept of haya. The next thing that sometimes you think that, oh, if I'm going to be a modest person, none of my friends will be with me anymore. They will think I'm outdated. They will think I am such an old-fashioned person, and they might, break up from me. They might not be my friends anymore. That is not true either. That is not true either. You will always have your sincere and good friends with you if they, if them and you are on the same page in terms of your concepts, in terms of your pure intentions, and in terms of your good character. And also, sometimes we think that the more modest we'll be, we might not be able to do big stuff in my life. I might not be able to pursue my life goals. That is also not correct. Haya and modesty is not stopping us at all. And we'll come to look at it more deeply once we'll keep moving with these slides. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you all got this point that what modesty is not all about. Okay, sometimes we think that my outer, covering is all about haya. It means I'm a modest person. It might not be true. Okay, so let's look at it, what actually modesty is. It is all about being conscious. It is all about being watchful. It's all about being mindful. What other words can I use? It's all about, so shyness could be one of the meanings or one of the interpretations of this word haya, but shyness sometimes, it gives us the impression that I'll be, scared, or I'll be, I won't be doing anything in my life. I just have to be shy and sitting in a corner. So shyness could be one of the aspects of haya, but then self-respect. Can you imagine? Self-respect is also one of the, in-depth meanings of haya. Honor, being an honorable person, right? Being a dignified person, having dignity, being mindful. And the most important concept, which I'm going to talk to you right now, is that haya is not about just our clothes. it is about our modest clothing, but it's not all about it. So it's actually about our whole attitude, the thoughts which come to my mind, the words which comes out of your mouth, the actions which we perform, the way we talk to our friends and our cousins or our family members, the way we communicate with people. Um, and most importantly, when we are all alone, when nobody is home, yeah, right, or when you are in your bedroom, when your mom is not there, when your dad is not there, nobody is there. But when you are being conscious of somebody, that someone is watching me, when you are being mindful that it's not that I am just all by myself, nobody is here but someone is here. Okay, and it's also about whatever we are taking inside our bodies through our senses, whatever we are watching, whatever we are looking at, whatever we are listening to. Okay, it's all going to make up our personality full of modesty. So it might be so it's not just about covering our bodies, as I said, but higher, it has to be in our talk, the way we walk, the way we stand, the way we sit, the way we dress up. Okay, and then if we get our inside right, our outside will follow. And it's very possible that I wear modest clothing, but I lack haya. It has to come from inside. It has to come from the heart. And it's you can just, in very simple words, you can understand it in this way, that it's that uncomfortable feeling which we have when we do something wrong, and it comes from Allah. You should be happy for that feeling. Sometimes we do something inappropriate, I listen to something wrong, I look at something inappropriate, by mistake, maybe, by just unknowingly, but then there is something pinching me from inside, something which is telling me, or pricking me from inside, that, oh my God, that was not something nice, I shouldn't have done that. That is the real haya. And that haya it comes from Allah, and it is from Allah. And then we think, my dear friends, that when we talk about modesty, I'm sorry, yeah. So when we talk about modesty, we sometimes think that, oh my God, I don't know why my mom always tell me to wear loose clothing, and to be, to do this and not to do that. Believe me or not, it was a norm of other faiths, and it is still a norm for other nations as well. So people from Christian, faith, people from Judaism, and many other faiths as well. Modesty was, and still is in their scriptures, one of the most prominent feature of their, the instructions given to them. So that's why, we look at the depiction of Mary, Hazrat Maryam, the Christians, the way they put it out in their front yards when it's Christmas time, and we look at her, and she appears to be a perfect, modest Muslim girl, right? And even, the royals, the royal family members, the queen or the princess or the duchess or the judge. I mean, these are just the proofs that the most important that person is, or the most higher the position a person is sitting on, that person has to be the most modest one in terms of everything. So you all know that, not a commoner, not a common person could go and just shake hand with the queen. He cannot go and just hug the queen. She is the most honorable person, and she has her own, all the protocol which everyone else has to follow, and that is something, interesting to know. So this command of haya is coming from Allah himself. Okay, so again, clear that up from your mind. when our parents are telling us to, follow some, instructions or some guidelines about modesty and haya, we think that, oh my God, my mom is from Pakistan, oh, my dad is from India, it's their culture. Maybe they were told to be like this. They were told to dress up like that. I cannot just go out to my school in a loose and long shirt, which is covering till my knees at least, and, not, too tight and not too short clothing. These commands are coming by Allah Himself, and these commands are mentioned in Quran. These are the most powerful words from our Creator. It's not a joke, it is something so powerful. And listen to these beautiful words. And then, again, hint, Kahoot game, your quiz, upcoming quiz, you might get some questions from here. So there are two places in Quran, chapter 24, which is Surah Nur. Okay, chapter 24 in Surah An-Nur, and chapter 33, which is Surah Ahzab. Okay, Surah An-Nur and Surah Ahzab. And the verses are written here. Verse number 30 in Surah Nur, 30 and 31, where Allah has commanded both male and female, okay? Put it in, note it down very carefully that it's for both genders. That we have to take care of our modesty. And I'm going to read these translations very quick. Verse number 30 in Surah Nur says, say to the believing men, they should lower their gaze from looking at forbidden things and guard their modesty. That will make for greater purity for them. And verse 31 says, and tell the believing women to lower their gaze from looking at forbidden things and protect their private parts and not to show off their adornment except what must appear thereof, that they should draw their head coverings over their chests. Okay, and then chapter 33, which is Surah Ahzab, verse 59, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to draw their cloaks, veils over their bodies. That is most suitable so that they are recognized as such. Beautiful guidelines, aren't these? And don't think it's a burden on us. Don't take it that way. I mean, this is something which is to protect you and me. Whether you are a boy, you are a girl, okay? It is for our own benefit. It is for our own protection. Allah is the creator for you and me. He created you and me, so He knows. Allah knows, the best, that what is the best and the most safe way for you and me to live in this world, okay? And then beautiful hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abdullah Ibn Mas'ud relates that one day the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Be shy of Allah Most High as much as is His due." Okay, and that we have to be shy and we have to have haya from Allah Himself. Even before my, having the fear of my parents, I have to fear Allah. I have to love Allah as much as possible, so that I am feeling shy from, disobeying Allah. Another hadith says Allah has a greater right for you to have haya in front of Him. It means, the way I just told you, that even if I'm alone at home, even if I'm alone in my bedroom, my phone is in my hand, I can watch anything I like. I can listen to anything I like. But then I'm stopping myself from doing so because I know that Allah has a greater right over me to have haya from Allah, to have haya from the angels who are appointed for each and every one of you and me, right? For haya, having haya with the angels, having haya with Allah Himself. And another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when lewdness is a part of anything, lewdness is the opposite of haya and modesty. So when lewdness is a part of anything, it becomes defective. And when haya is a part of anything, it becomes beautiful. Okay, and then when we listen to such ayat and verses and hadith, just remember, the experts are telling us in this pandemic about the rules of the social distancing. They're telling us don't touch each other, don't shake hands with each other. They're telling us to put face masks on, wear gloves if you can, no handshaking, no hugging. And we are following these guidelines. We know that the experts, or Dr. Fauci, or the CDC doctors, they are the experts. When we follow the guidelines given by these people who we call the experts of their field, how come we do not follow the guidelines by the one who is the expert of all the experts, who is the healer of all the healers, who is the, the most knowledgeable of all these knowledgeable people, the one who created these knowledgeable people. So the rules given by Allah should be followed and should be respected. The rules which I just talked to you about, mentioned in Quran and in the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the way we strictly follow the guidelines, of the doctors, who gave us directions how to be protected during this pandemic, the same way we have to follow the guidelines of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in order to stay safe and in order to stay healthy, not just physically healthy, but spiritually healthy as well. So, a quick checklist for both the genders. Okay, quick checklist for both the genders. I mean, both for boys and for girls. Interaction is fine. We have to interact with each other. You are at school, you have to talk to your classmates. You have to do projects with your classmates. You have to sit together at the same table. But when you're mixing, okay, that might not be fine. Or maybe, we have to just, it's not unconditional. We have to follow the prerequisites. We have to follow the guidelines that comes with this interaction, which is taking place with the opposite gender. Okay, and it all involves, how should we be talking to each other? How should we be protecting our gaze? We just read the ayah of Quran that we have to protect our gaze, the way we look at other people, the way we look at other things. We have to be careful about it. And Quran tells us in very much detail, and we don't have much time to go in that detail, but inshallah, go ahead and read the verses from Surah Nur and Surah Ahzab. It will tell you in much detail how, if we have to talk, how should we be talking? If we have to interact, how we should be interacting. So we have to have modesty. We have to have some boundaries when it comes to interaction. And then when we talk about clothing, we have to have loose clothing, okay, no tight clothing. And again, it's for both genders, for girls as well as boys. Sometimes the boys think that, oh, it's fine if I wear tight jeans. Oh, it's fine if I wear a tight shirt. It's for both of them, the rule is same. It does not be revealing our body shape. Opaque clothing, opaque means non-transparent. The material of our clothes should not be revealing our body from inside. Covering the aura. Okay, we have to cover the aura. Aura is, the private parts or the parts of the body which should be hidden all the time. So we have to make sure that we are covering it. The aura for a woman, for girls, is entire body except for face and hands. Sometimes the scholars say feet as well. So when we are outside, we have to make sure that we are covering our body parts correctly. And then not copying the opposite gender. That's another instruction and guideline in Islam, that just do not copy the clothing or the attire from the opposite gender. And there's some extra rules for females. Something which is more precious, which is more expensive, which is more beautiful. There are some extra guidelines for that, right? We all know that. So properly covering our bodies, especially our upper body area. Sometimes we put the hijab on and wrap around the hijab around our neck, so that the upper body, the front and back, are all open and exposed. It shouldn't be like that. So I know you can see the girl in the middle picture. It looks like that she is trying her best to wear loose and opaque clothing, which is not transparent, and the body is covered properly as well. Also, sometimes we want to put makeup on. I'm talking especially for girls, that young girls, even sometimes you want to put makeup on. So, or jewelry and things like that. It's fine. We all want to do that. But when we are just when we are going in public, when we are going outside, where there is a mixed gathering, there are going to be other male and boys as well. We have to be as modest as possible, as careful as possible, inshallah. But then why? People might ask why we should be, so much cautious, why we should be doing it. And as I said it before, that with every gadget, with every machine, there is some manual which has to be followed. And in case of you and I, we are not a machine, we are human beings, we are pretty human beings. But then the one who created us, he gave the manual with us, right? And he gave the instructions with us. And if somebody is not going to comply with that manual or with that guidelines, we are going to destroy it. We are going to destroy ourselves. We are going to destroy this society. So we have to be really careful. And let's start with taking baby steps. Okay, just open up your wardrobe. That might be a homework for you all. Open up your wardrobe and check what kind of clothes do I have in my wardrobe. Just check it out. Whatever is there which you feel after listening to this program, just pick one thing for yourself, just one thing. Okay, we cannot transform in one night. We cannot transform in 1 week or 1 month. It takes time, but at least make that effort. That whatever you think is not going to be pleasing Allah, when I'll meet Allah, some things might not be pleasing Him. Let me get rid of it. Just take it out. Okay. It also counts for the same for having our movie collection sometimes, or the things I watch on my playlist on my phone. Just do some screening. Okay, just check it out one more time and check if there is anything inappropriate which is putting my faith in risk, and which is putting my haya with Allah at risk, which is putting my haya with my angels at risk. Just get rid out of it. And we have to have self-confidence. Do not think that everybody will call me a loser, or everybody will call me oh, such an outdated person. Have self-confidence in yourself. People who do wrong stuff, who do bad things, sometimes you see some kids who are bullying. Do you look at them, how confident they appear, or they try to appear? We have to be that kind of confident. I mean, even more confident than them. If people who do wrong stuff are confident enough, why cannot we be confident when we are doing the right thing, when we are doing the best thing of all? So be the trendsetters, okay? We don't have to be the follower all the time. Try to be creative. Maybe make a club or a group of friends who can think of some stylish and fashionable but modest way of having a wardrobe, or having picking, maybe you can design some clothing. You don't underestimate yourself. Some of you might be that good of a designer. Think of some modest ways that you can design new styles, new way of clothing. Have some of your friends have some brainstorming. Be the trendsetters and start those trends. People should follow us. As Muslims, we should be the trendsetters. We should not always be the follower. So be creative and have some good ideas of how can we be fashionable and at the same time modest as well. Being fashionable is not bad if it's within the boundaries of modesty and haya. And then we do not want to get lost in this world. Look at this maze. Imagine that you have no clue how to get out of this maze. You get inside and then you are all by yourself. It's getting dark and nobody's there to guide you. You are calling for help, but nobody's there to help you, and you are lost. Wouldn't it be so scary to get lost in this maze? We don't want to be lost in this world, my dear friends. Okay, we don't want to be lost within our own life concepts. So in order to be always guided, we have to hold tight the message of Allah. Allah's message, Allah's Quran is the best, the best support for us. It will help us to survive in this world, and it will help us to survive in the akhirah. For everything we do, always think that my Allah is watching me. For everything good you do, for every time when you stop yourself from doing something, watching something maybe inappropriate, maybe there is a scene in the movie which you're watching, and then you just you turn away your face from there. And Allah would love that modesty which you are having from Him. not to please your parents, not to show off to somebody, but only and only to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And especially when we are in privacy, especially when we are in our bedrooms, when no one is there to check on me, we have to take care of our gaze, because that is the first thing which shaitan tricks us to, to get into this trap of being immodest. He attacks our gaze, he attacks the way we look at things. So we have to ask Allah for help. And when we talk about the examples, I always love, when we look at some of the good role models from this, Ibtihaj Muhammad. Maybe you know her. She is one of the champions. She's one of the. She was actually the first ever hijabi girl who went to participate in Olympics representing USA, and she won. Can you imagine? I mean, she could have easily put her hijab down, and she could have, I mean, very easily, convinced herself that there is no point of me going in hijab to be a part in Olympics, to fight, to play my sport. That is my dream. How, and maybe this hijab is going to be in my way of winning a medal in the Olympics. She did not think like that. She always says that in her talks, that this hijab made me that strong and that powerful, that made her able to not just participate, not just proudly stand up as an American Muslim, but she won. She just attained her goal, her life goal. So we have to keep these models in our mind. Also, Muhammad Ali. He is also such a good role model. Whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm feeling low in my faith, I always think of him. He was always so loud and clear when it comes to his faith. Whenever it came to his faith, he was the one who would be so loud to tell everybody that he believed in one God. And the way he had, he tried his best to keep his faith strong while, playing and while winning all of his, championships. And so his name is also in that hall of fame. So subhanallah, these examples are for us, for you and me to look at and have that confidence that if I am on the right track, I will be always peaceful, I will be always happy, and I'll be always successful. Maybe I'll not be successful in terms of today's, this world's terminology or this world's definition, but I will be successful in the eyes of Allah, inshallah. So with that, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you and me to um, follow the guidelines which are given by our Creator, by our beloved Creator, the one who loves us the most, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah help us to follow those guidelines. And since this young age, may Allah help you all to be a very strong, very modest Muslim, who believes in Allah and who is ready to make sacrifices sometimes just to get His pleasure. And you guys would not even imagine how much reward Allah has, kept for those youngsters who try to please Him and who try to do good things and to stay away from anything which is displeasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That being said, inshallah, let's play our Kahoot. Any question though? Let me check if there is any question. Okay, anything which any one of you would like to ask? Okay, I don't see any question here, just the comments. Are you all ready to play Kahoot? I'm going to share the Kahoot ID in a minute. I just want to see if you all are ready to play Kahoot. I just want to see some yeses. Okay, good. A lot of yes are here, so it means we are ready. Let me share it. I hope I'm not going to mess up with this Kahoot game. Bismillah. Post. I think it should be classic. Okay, here you go. Here is the Kahoot pin, 956 0009 956 0009. Awesome. Let's have as many people as we can. Let's have as many participants as we can, because the more we have, the tighter competition it's going to be. And I don't know how you guys are so quick in answering Kahoot. Oh my God, it's always hard for me to answer quick. I mean, I know the answers usually when I play Kahoot, but it is the hardest of all to be fast and quick. And usually by the time I'm putting in my answer, somebody else would already do it. So let's see who from you is more knowledgeable as well as more, fast and quick. Okay, 956 0009. 174, 175 participants are here. Okay, couple of more seconds and then we'll start. Let's see who is all ready to participate. 190. Okay, I think we are good to go. We are good to start. So, Aisha or Samreen, can somebody let me know that if I should start or should I wait? I don't know how many are total participants in the room.
Wait. There's 220, no, 219. So I guess maybe just wait like a minute more.
Okay, sure.
See. I mean, I guess once people stop joining, then you can just start the
Okay.
game.
Okay. It seems we are stopped at 210. Okay, okay. I don't want to make anyone be out of this Kahoot game just because they were not ready. So maybe 5 more seconds and then I'll start. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I hope everybody who wanted to be in the Kahoot game, they are here in this room. So I'm going to start. Bismillah. The word Haya has the same root word as in life, meaning Hayat, GPS, faith, or Islam. Three more seconds. Wow, 148 of you answered right. It is Hayat. Okay, very good answer, mashallah, mashallah. Haya and Hayat has same root word, remember? And Hayat meaning life. So Haya and modesty is life, and life is modesty. Perfect. Okay, mashallah. Ahmad is on top. Noran is catching up. Let's see who is going to be on top for with our next questions. Rules of modesty are only for Muslim women. Is it true or false? Easy question, kind of. Rules of modesty are only for Muslim women. Is it true or false? And especially this question, I designed this question for boys to remember. Okay. False. Good. 198 answered right. It is false. Okay. The rules of modesty are not just for Muslim women, but for Muslim men as well, for boys as well. And don't think you have to be a adult grown-up man to be following the rules of modesty, for all the boys as well. Well done. Let's see who's on top. Wow, mashallah, Ahmad is still on top. Kareem is now on second, and then Golden Iman is on third. Let's see question number 3. Command about modesty could be found in Surah Ikhlas, Surah Fatiha, Surah Nur, Surah Nas. command about modesty could be found in Quran in which of these surahs? One of it is right. Surah Nur, mashallah, good job, you guys. 164 answered correctly. Surah Nur is the surah, and Surah Ahzab was the second one, where Allah has mentioned and talked about modesty. You can read these surahs later on. Kareem team is on top. Ahmad is now on second, and Hamna is third. Wow, it looks like a tight race. Next question. The conditions of immodest clothing are that it should be non-transparent, it should be loose, it should be covering aura, all of the above. The conditions of immodest clothing are that. Which of these are right? MashaAllah, 167 of our participants answered it right. All of the above, okay? Not just one, not just two, but all of these three conditions are a must. So let's see who's on top. Oh, wow. Kareem is staying there. Golden Iman is back. Ahmad, you need to catch up now. Let's go to the next question. Haya is only about the clothing we put on. True or false? Haya is only about the clothing we put on. Let's see. 3, 2, and then 1. Haya is not only about the clothing we put on. Very good. Most of you, almost all of you answered right. It is, as you remember, that it is also about what we look at. It's also about our attitude, the way we look at things, the way we listen to things, the way we talk, right? The things we watch, everything is included. Everything is included in this concept of Haya, okay? It's not just about clothing. Very good. Ooh, Kareem team is on top again. Ahmad, mashallah, you're catching up. Iman, stay there. Don't go down. Okay, next question. 6 out of 10. Haya is about what we see. We just talked about it. What we see, what we say, what we hear, all of the above. Which answer is right? Haya is all about what we hear, what we see, and keep thinking about it. What do we listen to, right? And what do we look at? It's all going to be counted as our protection of modesty, or destroying it. MashaAllah, all of the above. Almost all of you answered it right and perfectly. And look at this. Oh my God. Kareem team is staying there. Golden Iman, Ahmad, Malayaka. Oh my God, mashallah, mashallah. New names are also, it seems that they are catching up as well. Let's go to the next question. Question number 7. The best form of Haya is the one with parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, friends, or society. Wow. We are mostly, trying to be modest and in front of our parents, right? Sometimes with our friends too. At least our MCNA friends or MCNA friends, and then in those halakat, we try to be as modest as possible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one we should have our Haya, the most perfect form. Very good job, guys. And look at this. Wow, Kareem is staying there. Ahmed is now catching up. Golden Iman is now on third. Oh my God, it looks exciting. Haya is not only in our public life, but private too. True or false? Public life means when you're at school, when you're at a party, when you're at your MCNA program. And private is when you're all by yourself at home, when nobody's around you, or maybe very few people are around you, and you have your full privacy. Haya is what? Haya is not only in our public life, but private too. It is true. Very good job. 184 answered correctly that it is for both aspects of our life. Ahmad is back up. Kareem is now second. Golden Iman is third. MashaAllah. Malayaka and Hamna, you both are there too. So let's see, maybe you'll catch up in the next two, or two questions. Question number 9, Allah has commanded both genders to have fun together, freely talk with no rules, not to be shy and timid, Talk in a straight tone when needed or as needed. Both genders means both boys and girls. Are we free to just talk and interact and communicate whatever way we want? Hmm, good answer. Majority of you answered it correctly. Talk in a straight tone when needed, as needed. MashaAllah, you all know the rules of Haya and modesty very well. Kareem is on top. Golden Iman is now second. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And Malayaka is third now. Last question. Watching movies with few bad scenes is okay. Just few bad scenes, not a lot. Maybe just couple of. And especially if no one is around me, maybe it's fine. You know, if my mom is there, then I cannot. I should not. But when nobody is there, then maybe it's fine to watch. Do you think this idea is right or wrong? No, that's not a right idea, because my angels are always with me and my Allah is always with me, right? Oh my God, that was a tight race. That was a good competition. And let's see. Let me press next and let's see who is here for top three. Oh, Malaika is third. MashaAllah, Golden Iman, you are second. And who is the first? Kareem team is the first winner of today's Kahoot. Very well done. Good job. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Very good job. I'm so proud of you all. Congratulations, everybody. It was so fun. It was so fun to see all of you participating in this Kahoot game and writing awesome answers to some of the questions I put. And it's just my dua that may Allah help all of us all the way throughout our life to, to stay as practicing Muslim as we can, because we all know that that is the best way, that is the most perfect route for us to enter Allah's Jannah. Inshallah, inshallah. May Allah keep you all safe and healthy. And, whoever is having snow, whether it's, Texas or Chicago, may you all enjoy while keeping yourself safe, inshallah. Jazakallah al-khair to everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Aisha, inshallah, back to you.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sister Faria, for such an amazing and interesting session, mashallah. I really liked how you helped us understand what it meant to be modest and what versus immodest, and its importance in not only public but especially in privacy. Okay. So please make sure to join the next session next month, inshallah. I'll now conclude the session with surah and dua. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal Asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.